Somewhere on Earth right now, an animal is in pain. A gazelle with a broken leg. A dog that lost the person it loved. An elephant standing over a calf that isn't moving. They feel it. Some of them feel it deeply, but not one of them is crying. In 4 billion years of life on this planet, across millions of species, only one creature leaks salt water from its eyes when its heart breaks. You. And if you think that makes you special, you've got it backwards. The reason you cry is the oldest, most animal thing about you. Here's what makes it strange. Tears don't help you see. They blur your vision. They don't fight off a predator. They don't warm you. They don't feed you or heal a wound. Every other thing your body does under stress has an obvious job. Your heart races to move blood. Your pupils widen to let in light. Your palms sweat to grip and run. But crying? From the cold logic of survival, crying looks like a glitch, a leak with no purpose. So why did evolution keep it in every human culture on Earth for as long as there have been humans? Start with the tears themselves, because not all of them are the same. You make 3 kinds. The first is basal, a thin film your eyes produce every minute of every day just to stay wet, laced with proteins that kill bacteria. The second is reflex, the flood when you slice an onion or get dust in your eye, there to rinse the threat away. Both of those are plumbing. Machinery, almost every animal with eyes has them. The third kind is different. Emotional tears, the ones that come when you're grieving or overwhelmed, or standing at a wedding you swore you wouldn't cry at. These are the ones no other animal makes. And they aren't just watered-down versions of the other two. They carry more of certain proteins and stress-linked hormones. Chemically, a tear of grief is not the same liquid as a tear from an onion. Your body brews a special recipe for heartbreak. The question is who it's brewing it for. That detail turns out to matter more than anyone expected. In 2011, a neuroscientist named Noam Sobel at the Weizmann Institute ran an experiment that sounds almost made up. His team collected emotional tears from women who had been crying. They put those tears, odorless, soaked into a pad, no way to tell what they were, under the noses of men. Then they measured what happened next. The men who sniffed real emotional tears rated women's faces as less sexually attractive. Their self-reported arousal dropped. So did the level of testosterone in their blood, and brain scans showed quieter activity in the regions tied to sexual arousal. The men had no idea they were smelling anything at all. Sit with that for a second. A tear is not just something people see on your face. It's something the people around you can, on some level, read chemically, straight out of the air. Crying is a message, and part of that message is airborne. Which raises the real question, what is the message for? The best answer science has cuts against everything we assume about crying. We treat tears as weakness, as the thing to hide, to blink back, to apologize for. But look at what they actually do to the person crying. They flood your eyes. They fog the exact sense you'd need to throw a punch or spot a way out. And that, strangely, might be the entire point. A biologist named Oren Hassan argued that tears work because they handicap you. By blurring your own vision, you broadcast something you cannot fake. I cannot fight and I cannot run. I am, right now, no threat to anyone. And a signal you can't fake, because it physically disables you, is a signal others can trust. That's why tears reach into people. When you watch someone cry, something in you softens before you've decided anything at all. Psychologists have measured it. Put visible tears on a face, and observers become more willing to help, more likely to step toward the person, not away. Crying doesn't broadcast weakness. It says, I need you, and I will not hurt you. It may be the most honest signal a human body can send. You cannot argue with a tear, and every culture on Earth seems to have known this without a single scientist telling them. Crying isn't a quirk of one people or one place. It's universal. From the Arctic to the equator, and everywhere humans found it. They built rituals on top of it. We weep together at funerals. We weep in front of gods and kings, across wildly different societies. Ceremonial crying does the same 2 things. It asks someone powerful for help, and it binds the people crying together. The tear was never meant to be private. It was always a public plea, aimed at somebody who might answer. And here is where the whole thing loops back to the animal in you. Watch a newborn. In the first days of life, a baby cries, screams, really, red-faced and furious, but the eyes stay dry. Emotional tears don't switch on until somewhere around 4 to 8 weeks of age. The sound comes first. The tears are bolted on later, and that order is a fossil. Crying didn't begin with tears at all. It began with a call, the distressed cry of a helpless infant. The sound engineered to make a parent drop everything and come running. That cry is everywhere in the animal kingdom. A puppy pulled from the litter. A bird calling for a flock that flew on without it. It is the oldest survival tool there is. I am small, I am lost, come find me. Deep in your brainstem sits an ancient patch of tissue that fires those distress calls, a circuit you share with creatures that have no words and never will. Human tears are that call evolved one step further, a version you can see across a silent room. A version, it seems, you can even smell, and it runs on autopilot. Tears flow through the same quiet branch of your nervous system that runs your digestion and slows your heart. Triggered from underneath thought, which is why you can't cry on command the way you'd raise your hand, and can't always stop once it starts. It's also why crying isn't shared out evenly. Testosterone actually suppresses it. One real biological reason, not just a cultural rule, that men on average cry less. And antidepressants that lift serotonin can turn crying down so far that some people report they've lost the ability to do it at all. So crying is a signal built on an ancient call, wired into the body far below your control. But there is one part of this story that almost everyone gets wrong, and it's probably a part you've said out loud yourself. You've heard that crying flushes toxins out of your body, that a good cry releases the stress, drains the bad chemicals, leaves you scrubbed clean. That idea traces back mostly to one researcher, William Frey, in the 1980s, who found stress-linked compounds inside emotional tears and suggested crying was the body detoxing itself. It's a beautiful story. It is also the shakiest science in this entire video. Later research never backed it up. The amount of anything you shed in a few tears is vanishingly small. Crying is not how your body takes out the trash. And the bigger belief, the one we all lean on, that a good cry always leaves you feeling better, doesn't hold up cleanly either. When the psychologist Jonathan Rottenberg and his colleagues went looking for the evidence in 2008, they found something uncomfortable. In the lab, when you make people cry and measure their mood right after, the criers often feel worse than the people who watched the same sad thing and stayed dry. And when surveys ask people to remember a good cry, about a third say it changed nothing, and roughly 1 in 10 say they felt worse. Crying only reliably helps under specific conditions, when someone comforts you while you do it, when the thing that broke your heart actually gets resolved, when you walk away understanding it in a new way. Cry alone, in shame, with nothing settled, and it can just leave you emptier than before. That is the honest shape of it. Crying is not a valve that drains your sadness out of you. It's a message, and a message only works if someone is there to receive it, which is the quietest surprise in all of this. You are the only animal on Earth that cries, not because you climbed above the animal world, but because somewhere along the way your oldest inheritance, an infant's cry for help, grew a new body. It learned to leak from your eyes, drift through the air, and reach across a room to the one thing in the universe that could answer it. Another person. You don't cry because you're weak. You cry because you were never built to carry it alone.